It could be that everybody knew this but me, but I just recently discovered that you can find fatwood in spruce trees. Maybe I shouldn't have been as surprised as I was to discover that you could find fatwood in spruce trees. Spruce trees, like pine trees and other trees, are conifers, meaning that they produce cones. And as far as I know, all conifers produce resin, and that means that they might be capable of producing fatwood. Well, a few weeks ago I was home visiting my dad, and he asked me to help him trim some dead limbs from an old overgrown Norway spruce he had growing in his backyard. I got out the ladder and the pruning saw and went to work on some of those dead limbs, and the trunk of the tree where I was working was sticky, where the woodpeckers had done their damage and the resin had seeped out. And I also noticed that while I was trimming those branches up close to the trunk, and I noticed that the wood seemed surprisingly hard given how long dead those limbs were. And that started me thinking fatwood. In a pine tree, for example, when a limb dies back naturally, the resin will drain sort of back towards the trunk and form a fatwood plug. And that wood's pretty hard. And that was what I was experiencing. And I was also getting a real strong, very pleasant aroma of spruce. And so I started thinking fatwood. And I saved one of those limbs, cut a piece out of it, and debarked it. Here it is. This is a spruce limb. I think this was the side nearest the trunk. And you can see all kinds of resin veins. Here's a big one right here. This is all resin in that spruce tree. And you can see there was some resin left behind. I didn't cut it all off when I was debarking it. You can see some resin patches on the inner surface of this limb. And on this side of the limb, you can see a darker area where I found a richer region of fatwood. You can also kind of see it on this end as well. It's a little bit darker on this end. It's not nearly as rich as the fatwood you would find in a pine tree. Here's a little piece of fatwood, pine fatwood. You can see how dark and rich and red that is. It's much richer than the spruce stuff. Here's another little piece, very dark, real rich, lots of good fatwood in here. But nevertheless, this has got fatwood in it, and I scraped some up, threw a ferro rod spark into it, and it lit right up. And I think I'm gonna go demonstrate that for you. So let's go outside, scrape up some of this spruce fatwood, and light it up. Can you see that vein of fatwood right there? It appears to me that this lump of spruce fatwood is a lot more rich in resin than I thought it was. Good find. I hope you can see this on the video, but there's black smoke coming out of here. To me, that's characteristic of fatwood burning. It's pretty obvious to me. I sure hope you can see it. Well, that was just a quick little demo of a interesting discovery I made recently. Maybe you already knew that fatwood could be found in spruce trees, but it was news to me. Anyhow, that's all for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.